We're not just imagining things that already exist someplace, but maybe us imagining them conjures them into existence. So somewhere some creature or God or whatever imagined us, and poof, here we are, and we're sitting in my bedroom imagining worlds into existence, like poof, there they are. It was a cool thought, and we talk about it a lot. Yeah. But I always thought it was just because it was this cool thing we thought about together. I never thought he was serious or anything. So I was watching this documentary on Netflix about these Japanese dolphin killers in the Secret Cove or whatever, and it was awesome. It's like sad, but awesome. And I got a text from Michael. And it was about 9:30, so I'm thinking, you know, a little late to want to be doing something, because my dad had put this moratorium on being out of the house after 9, because there was this serial tire slasher situation going on, remember? He thought it would escalate. Like, how? How does tire slashing escalate? Off track. Michael texted me, tonight, 10:30, I'm doing it. And I was like, okay, good for you, doing it, whatever it is. And so I texted him back, can't curfew, what it are you doing? And I didn't hear anything from him, so I figured he was probably drunk or something. He's not a teenage alcoholic, but when his parents are out of town, he gets into the whiskey. So I texted Sarah and said, you should check on Michael, he seems weird. And then I didn't hear anything. So I went back to watching my documentary. It was cool. They wanted to get footage of the killing happening in this cove, so they like smuggled in cameras disguised as rocks, and they even hired divers to dive in this cove and like put microphones in the water. I mean, it's like, yo, I get that you want to make a movie and all that, but that is like dedication.
He didn't dump me. He didn't. It was a completely mutual thing. He was just being really weird all the time, and I was trying not to get another disappointing score on the ACT. And he would come over to my house with these drawings of things. These like super weird drawings of wormholes or whatever. And he'd shove this drawing in my face of this little stick figure with glasses. Michael wears glasses. Getting sucked up into this tornado-looking thing that branches off into another drawing he'd hold up next to it that connected our street to like Saturn or whatever. And he'd look at me like I was supposed to agree with him or tell him I thought it was cool. And I was always like, Michael, stop watching sci-fi. I just wanted him to be serious, you know? We were graduating in 2 months and he'd only taken the ACT once. And he got a 23, which isn't bad, but it's not good. And I would ask him, what colleges are you applying to? And he'd say, I haven't. Like, yeah, he hadn't applied to anywhere, not even like the technical college, nothing. He was just not being serious. And I never thought I'd marry the guy, but you know, he'd have to come over and have dinner with me and my parents, and he'd be kind of embarrassing. My dad's like, you know, serious business, and Michael's all, you want to see my drawing of a tear in the fabric of the universe? I would get this look from my dad, like totally WTF. So I told Michael how I was feeling, and he said that if I wanted to break up, he'd understand. And I said, well, do you want to break up? And he said, I guess. So it was mutual, okay? He didn't dump me, we just stopped. So it's technically not weird that I was sitting outside of his house in my car. I mean, I live on that street too, and I was taking the ACT the next day, and I was kind of nervous, and I just wanted to, I don't know, talk to him. Because even though he was weird and all, he was still someone who made me feel better, less worried. But I was scared, you know, I didn't want to seem like some pathetic ex-girlfriend. I'd heard he'd gone out on a date with Sarah Ullerman last Wednesday, and if he was seeing her, I didn't want it to seem like I was trying to break them up, you know. I don't like Sarah or anything, but I'm not a, you know, I'm not that. And then I get this text from Michael. Like, how freaky is that? tonight, 10:30,
You're
I'm
at his
doing it.
house.
And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, does he see me sitting out here in my car? And I'm kind of freaking out. And then I get another one. Hey, sorry, last one wasn't meant for you. And I just sort of sit there for a bit waiting for another one, you know, like maybe he's going to ask how I'm doing. Because we hadn't even spoken or seen each other or even like commented on each other's Facebook stuff since we broke up. And I thought, I don't know, I thought maybe he'd want to know how I am. I waited, but he didn't send another text message.
So I finally settled all that crap about family night with my mom, and I get to my phone and I see Eric has texted me too. I read Michael's tonight, 10:30, I'm doing it, and I read Eric's. You should check on Michael, he seems weird. And it's strange because I don't know how I knew this, but the second I read Eric's text message, I knew exactly what Michael was going to do at 10:30. And it seems completely crazy that my mind would go there right away, as if that was the only possible answer to the question, but it did. And it freaked me out. So I texted Eric back and said, has he called you?
Sarah texted me and asked if he called me, and I texted her back and said, no, but you should call him. It's not that I don't like Sarah, I do. It's just, I never really understood why they were together. I mean, like with Becca, I understood because she has her life together and all that, but this girl, she just seemed like, you know when two people are just enough alike that they make the worst parts of how they're alike worse? Yeah, that was this girl and Michael.
I texted Michael, call me, and I waited. Nothing. I called Michael, he didn't answer. I called him again, he didn't answer, so I called Eric.
I let it ring.
I called Michael again, and this time I left a voice message. Hey, it's me, call me. You're not doing the thing we talked about on Wednesday, are you? Nothing for a few minutes, and then a text message from Michael. Yes.
I guess I just fell asleep, you know? I wasn't really trying to build up the courage to go talk to him anymore. I just didn't want to go home. And I guess I dozed off and, I don't know, I guess 45 minutes go by, and all of a sudden I wake up. You know, not from anything, I just wake up all of a sudden, and there's Michael standing outside my car looking at me. I mean, I totally freaked out. I screamed and I jumped and my heart was pounding. Because, like, you seriously don't want to wake up in your car in the middle of the street, in the middle of the evening with some person standing outside your driver's side window. And he just looks at me with this little smirk on his face. And he motions for me to roll down my window, and I do. And he says, can you drive me somewhere? He had his backpack, and I was like, I am not driving you to Sarah Olerman's house if that's where you need to go, because that would be really rude of you to ask. And he's like, no, that's not where I'm going. She's meeting me someplace. And I'm like, oh, so I'm driving you to meet your new girlfriend now? Is that what we're doing? And he's like, I'm not going to meet her. She'll just be there, I think. And you're the one sitting outside my house in your car. Ouch. So I asked Michael, what are you doing anyway? And he says, if I tell you, you won't drive me. And I'm like, okay, well, honestly, Michael, that makes me not want to drive you wherever you're going either. And he's like, it's nothing bad, you just won't believe in it. Believe in it?
So it's like 10 o'clock, and I think my parents are asleep, or at least they're upstairs in their room, so they won't be a problem. And I sneak out and head towards Michael's house. On the way, I text Eric, if he comes to your house, make sure you don't let him leave.
Sarah sends me this totally weird, dramatic text, and I was like, oh god, now I'm gonna be stuck in the middle of some crap between Michael and this new girl. I mean, Becca was uptight and whatever, but she wasn't drama, you know? I didn't text Sarah back.
So I tell Michael, no, I'm not driving you wherever you need to go. And you know what? You could have, like, asked how I was when you texted me earlier. Like, cared about how I was doing, you know? I have the ACT tomorrow, and I'm really nervous, and you just want me to drive you someplace. And he just walked off. In the middle of my sentence, he just walked off. Who does that?
So it was like 10:15, and I got to Michael's house, and Becca is sitting in her car across the street crying, which is totally weird because she's like his ex-girlfriend and everything, and she looks up at me, and we make eye contact, and there's this second or whatever, and then she starts crying harder.
Like, seriously? Okay, so fine, universe. You want to make me feel completely miserable? Fine, you win. This girl shows up and sees me across the street from my ex-boyfriend's house crying. Thank you, universe. Thank you.
I go over to her.
She comes over to me. Great.
Can you drive me someplace?
You've got to be kidding me.
Michael's in trouble.
This girl is like the kind of girl you're pretty sure isn't a virgin anymore, and you're pretty sure she hasn't been one in like a while. And she's always telling people these ridiculous stories about her life, you know, like supposedly she had this awful home life. But her dad's like a pastor, and her mom teaches the first grade, and they live in this beautiful home. I mean, beautiful. And she acts like she grew up on the mean streets of somewhere, you know? But like, when she said to me that Michael was in trouble, I've never believed this girl in my whole life, but right then I was like, oh man, Michael's in trouble.
So I hadn't heard anything for a while, and it was like 10:20. So I text Michael and say, yo, what's up? And within 20 seconds, he called me.
You there yet?
Where?
You know where.
No, dude, I don't.
That's too bad. I won't get to say goodbye.
Yeah, where are you going?
In person, anyway. I'd rather in person. Bye, Eric.
And then he just hung up. That was it. I had no idea what the hell he was talking about.
The drive was awkward.
Oh my god, so awkward.
We didn't talk.
She only ever said anything when she was giving directions.
Left on Blue Rock.
I wanted to ask her.
Please don't ask. Please don't ask. When you get to the gas station on Plymouth, take a right.
I feel kind of stupid because I should have known what he was doing right then, but I didn't. Like, I didn't. Had we talked about it? Yeah, of course we talked about it. But, like, we also talked about the possibilities of time travel as they related to how we make sure Mr. Corritoli didn't become a teacher, so he wouldn't be teaching us English, so he wouldn't bore us to death.